Hello aliens, I'm Colonel Failure and this is Factorio. When I was last here, which was a while ago, I apologise, but when I was last here, I built this rather excessive, there you go, that's the word I'm going to use, this rather excessive furnace setup, hold on your spoilers, rather excessive furnace, I'll sod it, let's go. Okay, I've been busy, so I've laid in some tracks. Furnace, yeah, I think you get that. If you follow the series, you saw it happen anyway. If you didn't follow the series, go watch the last episode. I do stuff with this and explain why it's going to work, and then in the comments everybody explains why it's not going to work. Fundamentally, it's not going to work because resources come flooding down here like there's no tomorrow. All these chests will fill up until they're told to engage. Marvellous, except only this much will actually fill up because the belt is not moving fast enough to get anything to the far end. So a minor redesign of that will be happening in order to make it work. Don't worry, redesign is my middle name. Colonel Redesign Failure, Colonel Bulldozer Failure, that's me. Anyway, I built this this train network. I'll zoom out a little so you can see what I've got so far. It's not operational yet. It works. I've tested it, but what? Item stack size. Terrific. I'll do that again. Yes, here's the idea. So here you're looking at the unloading station, which I've not yet renamed. Unload, right? And at the point at which the train unloads, it will also be refueled, right? So this is refueling and unloading with lots of lovely inserters grabbing everything off and adding it into chests, which it will then pull out of the chests and distribute accordingly. Now, the stuff that I'm going to have coming in here will be iron and copper and coal. So there's effectively, you know, 3 different routes they need to go. Now, I mean, the iron and copper are both going to go down that belt system we just saw in order to get properly furnaced. And the coal will go wherever I need coal to go. So that's, you know, that's all good. We then run, and here's the secret to this. And once we get an engine working, have I got one in my backpack? No, I haven't. But I think I've got them being made. The idea is that said train will, once it's waited its allotted amount of time, will whip round this corner and wait here for space. Now, I'll talk through signal blocks presently. Because I use both block signals and these kind of standard ones, as you can see here. If we zoom in, as you can see here, better. These stations here only exist to act as a holding point, and the reason why there are 4 very elegantly laid out sections of track here is to enable me to run 4, even more than that, possibly, services at once without creating a tailback. Now, I mean, you know, obviously this is a queuing mechanism that will mean that there is some hanging around to be done, but it should do it in such a way that we don't end up snarling up the track. Signals notwithstanding. So everything comes into the network this way and then heads back out again by crossing over and heading out that way. Okay, that's the way it's going to go, and as a result of that, it's going to turn up where and when needed. That's the theory. So think of these two. Let's zoom out a bit more. Think of these 2 sections as the main line, right? And then we'll branch off. So for this coal patch, which obviously is one of my targets, we'll have a branched section that leads off, crosses over, heads back onto the main line back in. I really hope you can see my mouse cursor, because I just did a glorious, let's see, I'll do it again. Comes in, goes round, whips out. Yeah. Likewise, there's a rather splendid iron field here, underneath all these trees. Will I bore you with cutting down all the trees? No, I'll probably get that done while you're elsewhere. But under here, I assure you, you can probably see it, but let's dig up enough so it's obvious. A fair amount of digging to be done here, but this is going to be the iron pit, and there's actually a reasonable amount there, so that should proceed without too much difficulty. Now, the reason I've started working on this now is because my original resource area is running a little low, and what I don't want to be doing is sticking automated mines on here and belting it up to the factory. At some point, I have to get the factory working correctly and actually build out sufficient infrastructure to get resources coming in. I am not going to have enough resources to finish the glorious project of the game simply by belting stuff around it. It's a very inefficient way to go, and surely will get your goodies eaten by biters. So there we go. And likewise, I've got this little patch of copper left. And you see, all this is going rather well. You know, let's just do something a bit more long-standing. And as you can see here, the inflow of resources is starting to dry up just a touch. So let's top up a few of these. No, all of them. There you go. That's it. And then, what are you? You're also iron plate. So let's do that one as well. And then I didn't keep any for myself. Oh, that's a foolish thing to do. There we go. Let's keep a few on board. Yes. So basically it's all winding down at this end of proceedings, and that's because I have upped the tempo a little on steel production. So I'm making more steel now than I was before because I'm going to need it. Now up here somewhere. Or did I dismantle it? Or did I put it somewhere else? Look, man, always play through for a couple of minutes to remember where everything is before you hit the record button. There we go. It's there. So yeah, so I'm in the process of making enough track, hopefully, to finish this project off. Likewise, this wall here, the goal with this will be to extend out as far as here, and then head up and try and block in this section. Now, as I've mentioned a couple of times, I've actually been very lucky with the placement that I've set up here to start with, in that it's not particularly close to any infestations. Yeah, I lucked out on that rather nicely. What are you short? You're short. There we go. Short some of that. Get that back to work. Good. So what am I going to do today? Well, I've waffled on for 7 minutes. That's usually enough time for you to kind of get the gist of the way that things are flowing. But yeah, the goal for this episode. What have we got going on here? That's all right. Let's dig all that up. Is I will endeavour to get this train network going, and I'm sure I've got engines being built somewhere. Yell if you spot it. Admittedly, that will mean that, you know, it'll be another episode or two before I actually respond to your comment. But I am making... What's that? That's making... That looks like it's making... No, that's making the storage energy thing. Okay, right. Well, that's not it then, is it? Maybe I didn't set it up. That seems quite likely. Okay, let's set it up. Right, get me another couple of those for starters. So yeah, manufacturing engines, and obviously we need engines in order to make trains. If we do, where's the locomotive? There we go. 20 engine units, and it requires 20 engine units. Right, so let's make those first. Right, steel plate, obviously. Iron gear, iron pipe. All right. You can be my iron gear. You can be my iron pipe. I could do this by hand. I mean, I'm not making... No, actually, I am making 4 engines, so that will probably actually warrant me setting this up as an independent fixture. Right, what have we got? One of those. There we are. Right. You can have some of that. I could have just stuck it back in there, but I like feeding stuff into chests first because that way you've got an idea on your kind of flow of ingredients coming in a little. I mean, this is obviously, you know, this is a temporary setup because I won't need this to be active for too long. Let's get a couple more chests done. There you go. That can be out. That one needs to be an in. You go that way, you go this way. Everybody's happy. We need one more. Fortunately, I made one more. Right, good. Smashing. Excellent. Power it up, turn it on, let's rock. I haven't got any steel. Knickers. Hopefully this chest here is right. Oh, 460. Fantastic. I'll take it all. Right, yeah, and the reason I don't want to make these by hand largely is it takes too long to make by hand. It takes flipping ages. I mean, by which I mean, 30 seconds or so. It's an outrageous length of time to have to wait. I could probably have placed that a little better. Let's place that a little better. Down one. Everybody's happy. Get to work. Okay, good. Right, so I need 20 of those. Get cracking. In your own time. See? Very slow. Very, very slow. Right, so in the meantime, let's go lay some track. I'll take some wall. Yes. So I'm going to need... What am I going to need here? How am I doing for iron? 100. That'll be enough. I'm also going to need some stone, and I'll go raid the concrete manufactorum. Which I was relatively certain... I've got some. Okay, good. I'll take all of that. Thank you. That's just for making some corners. I should have enough regular track, but let's take the rest of it anyway. Okie doke. So, let's get coal underway, shall we? That's another job well done. Do some more lab efficiency. Why don't you? So yeah, the hope is that this station network will service everything that I'm putting together for the rest of the game. Now, as we move further out in terms, let's go big map here. What do we got? Ooh, that's going to be an exciting one. Likewise, this is going to be mayhem. But the hope in walling up, he says, getting distracted from what he was talking about, is I'll wall up here all the way to this kind of lake area so that we have a very finite kind of front line. If anything, more reliable still might be to set up across this kind of spit of land here, somewhere like that, and that might sort it out. But here's where I was going, is eventually, and probably quite quickly, these patches of resources are going to run out. Likewise, oil is not going to last forever up in home base, not once I start redeveloping it anyway. So I'm going to need to port in more resources from further afield. I mean, if you look at the coal that's on the map, pretty scarce. So I'm going to have to look further afield to find a suitable coal supply, coal supply for later on, and that will require quite some distance. So having multiple trains running along these routes is going to be, well, it's going to be absolutely necessary. Right, let's take this out. Now, I'm taking that much further than I actually need to go. I'm not sure that's going to be enough corners there. However, we muddle on. Right, there we go. And then give me some of that. That will do nicely. What do you mean, did it? I'm close enough. So as time goes on, the rail network is going to be the thing that transports just about everything back to civilization, and as a result, I'm going to need to expand this network. So it should end up being a thing of considerable numbers of trains rattling around it. That's the hope. Now I'm trundling back up here because I need my test candidates here. Obviously, when I've got an actual locomotive, I can just drive there, but we're still building the engines. And gates. I absolutely love gates. Gates are amazing. Look at it. Look. Terrific. I don't know about you. Gates get me excited. Anyway, right. Let's build enough of this so that we've actually got space for it to happen. And I'm going to want a signal at the other end. Otherwise, despite the fact that... So the way that signalling works in the game, for those of you unattuned, is that let's say I don't have a signal here. A train coming down here that heads out that way will also block the track for a train that's heading straight down. So I do need to segregate this off with a kind of signalled section. Otherwise, you know, wailing, gnashing of teeth, total abject misery in terms of getting the job done. That should be okay. Now, the other thing to bear in mind, everybody wants to drive on the right. As much as you don't tend to double track, you do need to ensure, that will probably do the trick, that your station's on the right hand side. Signals, have I got any in stock? I haven't got any in stock. Right, then let's get a couple in stock. Right, so if we stick that here, there we go. That will work as a signal block. Hold on, is that on the right? Is that coming down that way? Yes, it's on the right. Okay, good. So if we stick another one there, then that will clear as soon as the train. And this is possibly where I got my obsession with clear signals from, is because it has to pass through this signal in order to clear that one. Yes. Right, okay, so next job is to flip this round so that we head back onto the main line. Yes. Flipping. I'm stood plenty close enough. I've got incredibly long arms. There we go. Right, smashing, and a bit of this. Likewise, a bit of that. Now, the track laying in this game is not the most elegant I've seen. I'm going to need to do something with the signals there, because otherwise it's going to get completely confused. Then we'll head all the way over here and then back onto the return leg. So let's clear some of this fauna and flora out of the way, so we can get that done. And now, I mean, the good news about these diesel engines is that they will quite happily run on wood. And as I start clearing all this wood down, that's going to be a very positive thing. Now, what I haven't thought through entirely yet is powering this setup here. I think what I'll probably try and do is set it up in such a way that I've got solar with enough. Enough capacitors. What the hell are they called? You know what I mean? To batteries to store the power coming in. Right, we'll stick that there. No, that's one too high up. That should be right. There we go. So yes, signalling we will do once we're running stuff up and down it, and I'll stick a couple of trains running the same loop in order to get that working. There you go. So this is doing exactly as advertised, or will do exactly as advertised. Obviously, with some coal pickup going on there. Tremendous. Likewise, we're going to need to peel off from here. Now, what's going to be the best route for that? I think this is going to be, and we're going to come off. We're going to go under the iron, or maybe we bisect these two. I think that's the way to go. So we've got another little iron patch there. So I think if we go straight up the middle and then around the outside, up and merge back on. Do we want to do that? No, that's going to be incredibly dull. Because, you know, I did promise I wouldn't spend half the episode cutting down trees, because that's not flipping riveting, is it? So let's stick another signal on here, which is going to, yeah, stuff it. Where I was going with that is it's going to make for a complicated signalling block, but hey, complicated is fun. All right, and then we'll whiz this all the way over here. So I'll get this bit set up, and then we'll head back to that factory and see if my engines are done. No, it is engines that you're talking about, literally. Diesel engines. There we go. So I've got enough set up there in order to at least run the beast. And frankly, that's all the excuse I need. There we go. Which is the faster way? Well, you've kind of committed to going this way now, Sunshine. So you know, get on with it. Yeah, my current solar setup is all over the show. In fact, I mean, you can say that for the factory as a whole is just, you know, ramshackle and placed without any due care and attention. It's a terrible, terrible factory. This is the terrible factory played through. It will become super glamorous. I assure you. Super glamorous is what it's going to become. Where was I going? I was going after engines. How many have we got in there? 20! As if by magic. Yeah, sure. Give me robotics. That'll be good. Likewise, on the research side of things, right now, my only real goal is getting all of the red-green research done. Do I need anything else while I'm in the area? Well, you've left it a bit late for that now. Anyway, oh, there we go. Let's whiz along that one. Good. Right. Splendid. Let's ride the thing. Let's just pop a bit of this wood in there. Let's jump on board. Off we jolly well go. Yeehaw, and so forth. Right, and then that way. No. You got that wrong. Okay, you have to steer the opposite way to the way you intend. Right, here we go. And right, stop. Hop out. Right, and let's get these fellas out of the way. Hook them up onto the back. And then we're going to play Fun with Signals. The hip new game for all the family. There we go. So, yeah, each train consist is going to have 3 wagons on the back of it, and this one does not seem to want to connect. I'm possibly going to have to move a little further forwards in order to give myself some room here. Yeah, potter along. Splendid. Excellent. Right, good. We're in business. Right, let's name this station, shall we? Christopher Trent. Yeah, I think coal pickup. There. See, I'm something of a traditionalist. Now we're not quite ready to go yet. I still have to set up which station I want this to be its pause route. But here we go. See, look. All right, look at this. Easy. All right, I guess it's this one then. I was going to take the first one, but no, we'll take this one. Back her up. Right, so this is, let's call this platform 1. Given that anything can use it. Right, so from here we can go platform 1, yes please, where we will wait for no seconds. And the reason we will wait for no seconds because it will always come to a stop. So it always stops at a station, but it won't go any further unless the route is clear. And that's the important bit. And then from platform 1 we will go to unload, and then from unload where we will stop for the sake of testing, we'll stop for 10 seconds, and then we will head to coal pickup, where we will stop for 10 seconds. We feel confident about this? Sure, why not? Run the train. Alright, let's get that done. Jump on board. Right, now, obviously, while this chap is running, solo with nothing else fighting for the attention of the track, there should be no problem at all in actually completing the route. This is the point at which it's going to say it can't find a route. I can find a route. Clever train. Marvellous. Right, now, the next thing to do, obviously, is going to be to set up the related iron ore mine, and then get both trains running, because that will allow me, because as you can see, that signal behind me, it really doesn't understand anything that's going on at the moment. It has no concept of whether it's all right or wrong or whatever. So I need to get multiple trains running in order to prove this out. And that's what I'll do in the next episode. And I heartily invite you to be around to see that happening. Stop the train. Hop out of the train. And subscribe if you haven't done so already, and then you won't miss out on what is sure to be another riveting and highly engaging episode of flipping trains on a flaming mind of Factorio, which is what you're watching. Thanks for watching. Chucks a like if you enjoyed this one. I've been Colonel Failure. I'll catch up with you very soon. Cheerio.